Your life is being quietly traded away for small, comfortable habits. Every hour spent in a digital trance is a direct withdrawal from your future, stolen one mindless minute at a time. I wasn't failing by any traditional metric, but I was waking up tired and trapped in a loop. I lived in a constant state of starting tomorrow, while my actual days were disappearing into the same unproductive patterns. I decided to break the cycle with a strict 30-day protocol: 5 a.m. wake-ups, a precise diet, and zero excuses for digital distractions. Everything would be tracked. I expected to feel an immediate surge of power. Instead, day one was a mess. I slept through my alarm and found myself negotiating for just 10 more minutes of sleep before the sun was even up. That first failure showed me the real problem. It wasn't a lack of desire that held me back. It was that my current default systems were simply more powerful than my intentions. When you force yourself out of bed at 5 a.m., your brain doesn't see progress, it sees a threat. It immediately starts looking for a way back to the safety of the covers. Removing sugar, scrolling, and constant entertainment cuts off your brain's primary supply of dopamine. Without that stimulus, your chemistry crashes. By day 3, the deficit manifests physically: persistent headaches, low energy, and zero motivation. This is the exact point where most people stop, not because their goal is impossible, but because the biological friction of withdrawal becomes too much to handle. Your brain interprets this discomfort as a sign that you're doing something wrong, when in reality, it's just the physical cost of changing your behavior. On day 4, the fog lifted. I stopped fighting the symptoms and started paying attention to my actions with a level of clarity I hadn't felt in years. I tracked every minute. The data was brutal. I wasn't lacking time. I was unconsciously giving it away. On day 5, I replaced lost time with a rigid routine: water, movement, and planning. Consistency gave me back control. By the end of the first week, I wasn't relying on how I felt anymore. I was simply following the structure I had built for myself. We usually lose our days to friction and small distractions simply because we aren't measuring them. Measurement is the only way to see what you're actually losing. Week 2 was defined by mechanical discipline. I embraced the discomfort of cold showers and deep work blocks, even when I had no desire. I realized clean eating and fixed sleep schedules were the literal fuel for my work. My output was tied directly to physical recovery. By week 3, with reduced screen time, I hit peak energy levels that lasted all day. I realized that the more I systematized my day, the less I had to think about what to do next. When you stop negotiating with your own schedule, you eliminate the mental fatigue of decision-making. This leaves your cognitive bandwidth entirely available for high-level execution. As I reached the final days, I expected a dramatic shift. But the end of the 30 days wasn't a loud transformation. It was a quiet realization. My life hadn't changed because of one big event. It had changed because I replaced a chaotic tangle of habits with a direct, intentional path. I had more clarity and confidence than I'd ever had before. It became clear that successful people don't have more time than anyone else. They simply have a higher level of respect for the hours they are given. Completing the protocol did more than change my habits. It rewrote my baseline identity. I was no longer the person who said tomorrow. I was the person who took action. You don't need a massive 30-day window to start. You only need the immediate execution of day 1. The decisions you repeat every single day are building the life you will eventually live. If you want a different future, you have to choose it right now.